All right, what's up, everybody? My name's Rick Daman, and I'm friends with Shawn Moody. All right, a lot of you know him as Mr. Moody, but me personally, I know him as the Black Panther. Okay, so if you want to dig down deep and find out why they call him that, just ask him; he'll tell you. But on a serious note, Mr. Moody, Shawn, whichever we're gonna call him today, decided to ask me to answer some questions for him for his entrepreneurship class. Obviously, I was going to do it because Shawn's a great friend of mine, and I think it's just a really good time to maybe help guide some of you into a better path where you think that you want to become an entrepreneur, own your own business, or start your own company, or whatever it may be. But sometimes when you hear it from other people that have gone through situations and tough times, then it kind of gives you an insight of what lies ahead when you start from scratch. So just real quick, I met Shawn. It's been about 10 years now, but since, from the first time we met, we've had a lot in common, training, and we just have really been good friends since. He's been a coach at our gym for almost 5 years now, and it's just been a great relationship as friends. Our wives are friends, so it's great. So I'm happy to do this. So let's get into the list of first couple questions. I'm gonna try to give you as much detail or little detail depending on the question, but I'm also gonna try to give you as much background as I can on how I started, when I started, and I'm gonna give you a lot of info on a lot of the tough times that I had to go through to get this business started and running. And a lot of people will say things like, you're lucky that you own a business, or, oh, I would love to own a business. But the bottom line is this: if your goal is to own a business, you better buckle up for a lot of tough times when you start, because there's no certain blueprint that can prepare you for the ups and downs, and you're going to have a lot of downs. You're going to have a lot of ups, but you'll feel defeated at the beginning a lot more than you feel victorious. But that's the best part of it, because it gives you that incentive to keep getting better, especially if you're doing what you love. And in my case, I get to be around people every day, all day, whether they're adults, whether they're athletes. I have some of my best friends who coach with me, and I get to train athletes. That's what I love to do. I could not see myself doing anything else other than helping someone else start a business as well. I just have, I guess, an all-around passion for coaching. I coached high school football at Rochester High School for 10 years. I miss it, but this is what I do on a daily basis, 7 days a week, every day, all day. There's never a break. All right? And so when someone says to you, you own your own business, you can go on vacation anywhere you want, when you want, might be true, but you're always working. Okay, so once you start, be prepared to never stop. All right, so let's get into the first question. It says, how would you define being an entrepreneur? The definition, to me, of an entrepreneur is someone who has the ability and the desire to do what they're good at and follow that passion every single day. As an entrepreneur, the word passion comes up often. As corny as it may sound sometimes, it's true, because I've taken two passions and I've been able to put them together as one. First passion is lifting weights since I was 12. All right, I've always wanted to lift weights, be around weights. It just put me in that place. Second thing is being around kids. So I wanted to be a teacher, but I thought to myself, after coaching football at Rochester for 10 years, and I was running the weight room and seeing a lot of success, I was like, why am I not doing this and getting paid? I get to lift weights, I get to be around weights, I get to teach kids, I get to be around kids, and I get to coach kids. So I decided to start that up, and I think the true meaning of an entrepreneur is following that dream and not letting anybody tell you you can't do that, because someone's going to tell you can't do that. That's a stupid idea. You shouldn't open up that art studio or you shouldn't become a tattoo artist because tattoo artists are stupid. Well, I got great friends that are tattoo artists, and they do what they love every single day, and they make a lot of money, and so if you do decide to get into something related to the field or entrepreneurship, go for it. 100%. Don't stop. Whatever it is, if you love it, do it every single day. I was reading an article on entrepreneur.com, and it was an article about Biggie Smalls and his accountant. His accountant was like the accountant for all the big time stars. They called him the accountant of stars. And if you listen to Biggie's music, he talks about him in his music a lot. And not a lot of people knew who he was. But I read an article about it, and him and Biggie had a really good relationship. But the big reason why Biggie liked him the most is because a lot of times people would tell him that, oh, you couldn't do this, you can't do that. Well, his accountant told him, if you find something you love, do it every single day. And it's true. Obviously, he was doing what he loved every single day. That's pretty much what I feel is the definition of being an entrepreneur is following that clear line of vision that you have and not stopping at anything. My uncle actually owns a car dealership, and he is an entrepreneur. He sells cars, he runs a company, and he gave me some great advice one time, and it fits my personality perfectly. And because I hate when someone tells me no. I've never been able to grasp the answer no to anything. If I'm trying to get something or go somewhere and someone tells me no, that's the worst possible thing someone could say, because I'm gonna find a way to do it. If someone says you can't do that, I'm gonna find a way to do it. But he gave me this piece of advice, and it said, whatever you do, don't stop. Whatever you want to succeed at, don't stop. He said, if they close the door in your face, you go around it. If they close the door in your face, you go over it. If they keep closing that door in your face, you go under it. If they keep closing that door in your face, you kick the fucker down. So I've always, and right when he said that, I was like, absolutely. I'm not going to let one single person stop me from accomplishing goals. And if you think about all the times that someone said to you, that's a stupid idea, you're too small, you can't survive in Beaver County running a business, there's just no money, it's going to take you 5 years, that's a lot of work, are you sure you want to do it? You're going to leave your teaching job with insurance, it has 401k. You're going to leave a job that's reliable to open up a business and you don't have any clients. So you're going to get 100,000 different answers or questions. Excuse me. But you're always going to think about the things that people said to you to push you further into doing what you want to do. Because every time someone said, Rick, that's a stupid idea, or you can't do that, or you're too small, or I don't know if you can play this game, or that's just more incentive to do it. I had a teacher, actually it was my principal in high school. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Iowa testing and stupid tests to take, get the school scores up higher. And I had no desire to sit and take any of those tests. I didn't want to do it. I just didn't care. Not that I didn't care about schooling. It wasn't going to affect whether I went to college or succeed in life. So I would just fill the bubbles in. Probably shouldn't have, but I did. Whatever. So they knew that I wasn't going to take it, and I said, I'm not going to take this test. So I filled bubbles in, and I went up, handed the paper to the teacher, and I said, I'm done. I'm not going to do this. She said, go to the office. I said, all right. I wasn't being a jerk, but I just said, I'm not doing this 4-hour test. So get to the office, principal's waiting for me, and he just unloads on me. You ain't done shit all year. You're going to be a loser. What do you want to be, Daman? A garbage man? And I was like, well, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. And I was playing the game too. And, and he just kept going on a tangent. He's like, all you care about is hanging out with your buddies, doing this, doing that. You could care less about school. What are you going to do in life? You ain't going to amount to jack. he just kept going on and on and on. And I remember thinking to myself that very day as he was saying this, because I knew I was going to go to college and I knew I was going to get a diploma. I just didn't care about that last year of high school. And I kept that in my mind because as I sat there that day, I thought to myself, well, the day I graduate from IUP, and when my name's in the paper, it says Rick Daman, Bachelor's of Science. I was cutting it out. I was going to seal it, and I was going to mail it to him. Wherever he lived, he was getting a mailing, just of the clipping. And that was in my head. So, a couple years later, five and a half years later at IUP, I graduated. And the whole time at IUP, that was some motivation to me to prove him wrong. And as small of a thing it was just that. It was motivation for me to keep going. I graduated. About a month later, opened up the paper. There's my name. Indiana University, Pennsylvania. Rick Daman. Bachelor's of Science. Graduate. College graduate. I didn't cut it out. Because I didn't give a shit. Did I want to cut it out and send it to him? Yeah. But I made my point. He would have figured it out, found out someday anyway. But I always take things from the past and I always keep that in because I use that as constant motivation, and then that's what you need to do. Next question is, what is your business story? All right. So I sort of kind of told you a little bit about it, but there's some other parts of this question that Mr. Moody has that I'm going to go over. So basically, I'm going to tell you the story about how I opened up DST. 2004, graduated from IUP. Came back to Rochester, started coaching high school football, started running the weight room immediately. Started spending my own money into the weight room. I didn't wait for the quarterback club to hand me a check to buy stuff. I just kept buying stuff, putting it in there because we needed more. We needed to get better. Rochester has a great football program, and I wanted to keep the tradition alive, keep winning. So I kept constantly putting more money into the weight room. I had thousands of dollars of my own money into this weight room. Year after year, the weight room kept getting better and better and better. So eventually, I started thinking to myself, like I said before, I love coaching, love athletes, love lifting weights. Why not do this every single day? So I started getting online, and I started looking at places to go to seminars and to train and be around other coaches, and that's when I got my first job in Wexford, where Coach Shawn, where Mr. Moody worked at. He was a trainer. It was called Mac Fitness. So I worked at Mac Fitness for quite some time. Through that, I just started I could do this on my own. I don't need to work for somebody. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to really sweep the floor anymore. I wanted to coach. I wanted to train. I just wasn't getting enough. So I started traveling to New Jersey. I traveled to the gym. It's called the Underground Strength Gym. It's run by Zach Evanesh. That was in 2008, May of 2008. May of 2009. Flew there. Almost didn't go. It was just a weekend. It was one day seminar, and Joe DeFranco was there, and they were doing. It was called the Lost Secrets of Strength Training Seminar. And I was like, I gotta go, and I almost didn't go because it was $497, and I was like, oh my god, I don't even have that. I don't even have that much money. I'm sitting in my parents' house. I'm still living in the basement. My girlfriend, my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, was like, just do it. I was like, man, I gotta fly out there. That's another $300. I was like, oh man, I'm looking at $1,000. I'm like, I don't even have $1,000. So I almost shut the computer down, and I didn't click pay. So I had the PayPal sheet all up. I was ready to go. All I had to do was hit pay. She's like, just do it. So I clicked pay. That day completely changed my life. And I had no idea. If I would have closed that computer down, who knows? I could have still been teaching and hating everything. So, went out to Jersey. The second I walked into that gym, there was kids training. There was hard work. Kids sweating. Weights, clanging. And I was like, this is the environment that I can adapt to. My attention span's phenomenal with it. Coach, Shawn will tell you. But that's what I gravitate to the most. So the second I walked in that gym, I knew. I was like, I got to get home. I got to open the gym. So I went out there. I kept going out. Seriously, that whole entire summer, from May on to November, I was out there consistently based. The first time I went out and I came home, I found the gym. I was driving back from the airport. I was telling my wife, I was like, and my girlfriend said, we need to find a gym now. I said, I need to open a gym. She's like, okay. I was like, we need to find a gym. So we drive past the garage, which is actually the gym now. And she's like, well, what about this place? And I said, pull in. I look inside. It was ugly as shit in there. I was like, I said, I don't like it. I was like, it's too small. She was like, that's what he said. Get something small. You don't want to get too big. I'm like, it's got to be something bigger. You know, we always want something more, you know, we start. So get home, come back. The next day, I'm like, I got to drive back down there. So I drive back down there, look inside. I kept visualizing things, like set up. And I was like, this is it. This is the garage. The first place I looked at became the gym that we're still in today. Called the landlord. Came down, met me. This was in May. By November 30th, 2009, I opened Daman Strength Training. I had about 6 clients. Today, we have about 126 clients. It's been a journey, I'll tell you that. But in 2009, the economy was trash. Terrible. People losing their jobs. Companies shutting down. It was bad. It was really, really bad. I'd like to think that I just didn't give a shit, or maybe it was my lack of knowledge of how bad the economy was, but that's all you heard. The economy's bad. Don't open a business now. Are you nuts? The economy was terrible in 2009. I lived in my basement with my parents and my girlfriend. I had no money. Only money I had was in a shoebox. We were engaged. We were getting married. We were paying for a wedding. It was a month before Christmas and New Year's, so people don't spend money on things. Businesses get really slow at that time of year. People are rushing around to get gifts and New Year's and this and that. That was probably the worst time to open a business. There is no good or perfect time or perfect day or perfect year or perfect month to open. You just open the doors. But if my back could have been against a wall any more than that day, I don't know what the heck it would have been. But I started from as low as you possibly could get, and I built my way back up to what I like to think is a successful business. Is it as successful as it can be? No. You know, we just finished our 5th year. We have 5 coaches. When I opened, it was just me. I was running it every day. It was crazy hard. But the goal was to get great people around and build a team, and that's what we've done. We've built a name because we have integrity. We've built a name because we have trust. We've built a name because we don't treat people like crap. We build a name because we guarantee that you're going to get the best when you come to our gym. We give you nothing less than the best. That isn't a marketing tactic BS line. That's the truth. We treat everybody like family, whether they're an adult, male, female, athlete, male, female, whether the mother or father come in that gym, they get treated with respect. You treat them like family because that's what's going to help you the most. And if you don't treat your people like that, your clients, your customers like, then you're digging yourself a huge hole. It shouldn't be something that you act like. It should be easy to flow off your chest, to kind words to roll out of your mouth, to show kids that you care. Are there times that we're hard as hell on them? Absolutely. But our goal, our mindset with the gym is this. When these kids they're 30, 40 years old, I want them to always think back to when they trained with us and were a part of our gym for 3, 4, 5 years. And I want them to tell people, you know, that place molded me as a person. It taught me accountability. It taught me responsibility. It taught me how to work hard. It taught me how to be tough. It taught me how to not give up. It taught me life lessons. Those are the things that we want the people to leave with. Are we developing it? Are we developing that in kids? Absolutely. Are we starting to instill that in adults? Absolutely. We instill that in adults. They pass that on their kids. It's a phenomenal thing. All right. So that's the beginning of Daman Strength Training. Here we are 5 years later. And, you know, we're looking forward to a big year because we're getting ready to add on to the gym. It's going to go from 800 square feet to 3,100 square feet. Hopefully in 2 months, that's done. All right. Third question is, tell us about your network for mentorship in business. Awesome. One of the biggest things that I've learned from this journey is you always have to invest in your knowledge. You're never good enough. You always have to invest in how to run a business. You got to be around people that are better than you. You have to be around people that are more educated than you, smarter than you, hold more information in their brain than you, and that could give you more. It's not that you're taking it, but it's your duty as a business owner to keep that business up and running in the best business in the area, bar none. If you're not vowing or fighting to be the best, then you should close. Or you should not start up. You should have the attitude that no one is going to beat me at anything they even could try at. All right? So that's the attitude you got to have when you run your business. It's a confidence. It's not a cocky swagger. It's a confidence, and that's the kind of confidence you need to run a place. But I've been in so many mastermind groups. I've been in since 2009. I've been in a mastermind with Zach Evanesh and Paul Reddick. That doesn't really exist anymore. I've done like BNI Bridges locally, which I liked a little bit, but I didn't get a lot out of it. It wasn't really intense enough for me. I've done local Chamber of Commerce, same thing, really wasn't intense enough for me. I like action-packed things where people are like, what are you doing right? Great. What are you doing wrong? All right, fix it. Here's how you're going to fix it. Those are the things that I gravitate to. Some where someone's constantly pushing you to do better. I've been in a mastermind now that's run by Paul Reddick. He's phenomenal person, phenomenal friend. It's run by him and Vince Gabriel, mainly Paul Reddick, but I've been in that. It's called GFGI. I've been in that, 4 years now. I'm actually getting ready to head out there in a week. I'm taking a train to Yonkers, New York, and I'm going to hear Seth Godin speak. I'm sure Mr. Moody has shared some things with Seth Godin, as he follows his blog. I'm really excited because this mastermind's the biggest one of all. It's really going to help iron out a lot of things with the business, the aspect of the business, the addition of the business, the expansion of the gym, how to better run a team facility. This is the very first meeting, so it starts in February 1st and it'll go to February 1st, 2016. So I got a full year of another mastermind, and I will tell you that it is a big time investment in your success. Do I bat an eye when I know that I have an opportunity to invest myself with Paul Reddick and Vince Gabriel? Absolutely not, because I know them personally, and I know that they understand my business, so they know me as a friend, a person, and a business owner. They know my business very, very well. So they're able to guide me when I have questions. They're not shooting from the hip. It's not like, go try this. They're like, well, Ricky, last time we talked about this part of your business, this is what was happening. I think you need to put this into it and tighten this part of your business up, because they can see it. They visualize it. They understand it. I would say don't jump around from mastermind to mastermind, because if you're just paying for a mastermind to go and say, hey, I'm in a mastermind or I'm in a business networking group, they ain't really doing shit for you unless you are absolutely dedicated, or the main dude running the mastermind is 100% dedicated in you and your business. If you're just sending a huge paycheck or a huge payment over PayPal for a 12-month thing and you don't know who you're sending it to, I don't know. You might want to dig in a little bit deeper. It's been great. I've had business coaches who I had a business coach for a whole year. He was phenomenal. It's actually Vince Gabriel, and he helped me with a lot of things. Helped me a lot of clarity, because when you run your own business, you're constantly just, you got so much going on. You need time to sit back, reflect on things that are stumbling blocks. You need someone to coach you through it. That's an actual coach that's been there, that's done that has success. Mr. Moody is very intelligent when it comes to marketing. Don't look too far, because sometimes the people that can help you the most are right there with you. So don't ever be afraid to email that dude, because he's extremely intelligent. He helps with a ton of things that I need. Very well-rounded dude. So keep him in your back pocket. Next one is, tell us about the pains of growth. So I'm going to talk to you about hiring, accountants, legal waivers, the pains of competition or competition in your area. Let's first get into hiring. Hiring can be tough because you need to have an understanding of who you want to hire. If I had two guys come up to me and the one guy said, I have a 4-year bachelor in exercise science, minor in physiology, minor in kinesiology, I've trained at so-and-so for 10 years, this, that, or I had a kid come up to me and said, man, this is what I want to get into. I followed your facility. I think what you guys do is great. I really want to learn. I'll do anything. I'll clean the gym. I'll mop the gym. Compared to the first guy, I think to myself, well, this first guy, he might think he knows everything, but he doesn't know our way. We have a certain philosophy that we run. He probably has a mindset like, I'm going to teach this way. I'm going to teach that way. See, when we coach kids, we don't coach a crazy amount of different ways. We coach the same way. All right? We all believe in the same philosophy. So that kid that's unrefined and has no idea what he's doing, but he has a love for lifting weights and being around people, I'm going to pull him in a second. You can mold him, and you can make him and turn him into a great coach. Currently, we have 2 young coaches. They're hungry. They're eager to learn. They're always asking questions. Coach Shawn gets bombarded with questions about training from them, but it's a good thing. And he knows. He'll tell you. But we have a great staff. Coach Shawn, we have Mary, we have Chris, and we have Coach Dana. So we have a great staff, and we're in a really good place. As far as accountants, you got to find a good one. You got to find a good CPA you trust. They're tough, they're expensive, but you need to have your business in line. You need to understand what your profit and loss is. You need to understand your money, where it's going, how it's coming in, when it's coming in, who's it's going to, how much it's going out. That's why having a CPA is that important, because when you need things like that, you can get a hold of them, contact them, and they should have all that ready to go. Competition is, I really want to talk about this because competition can be a pain in the butt, depending how you let it affect you. When I first opened my gym, my friend who is a tattoo artist, he does all my work, the very first thing he told me, he's been open for almost 15 years, I think, but the very first thing he told me, like the first month that I opened, he said, never talk shit on your competition. And I'm so glad he told me that, because we have gotten bombarded at times by other gyms or high school football coaches, because they don't want to see someone else succeed them. There's a local guy, and he's openly bashed me on to my members or on Facebook, and we just keep blowing past him. He stands no chance because he doesn't carry the same integrity and morals that our facility does. As much as I want to, tell him to shut it, I just don't. Because if I waste my time and energy on worrying about what he's saying and doing, then I've lost that much time in gaining or growing or making our members better. So you're going to run into that. You're going to run into guys saying things. You're going to run into, people just saying things about your business. But people are going to say things because they may want to be in your shoes, or they may want to run a business, or they may just feel pure jealousy towards the fact that you've done something that they've always wanted to do, and that's starting their own business. So